So here's the thing. I like doing things. I tend to see myself kind of like a unmedicated rubber ball at a rave because, like said unmedicated rubber ball, I have this tendency to bounce around from skill to skill, hobby to hobby, interest to interest without any rhyme or reason in between. I mean, I'm not diagnosed or anything, but something's definitely wrong. This aforementioned lifestyle, albeit a bit chaotic, has resulted in me having a variety of knowledge across multiple fields. By the way, just ignore the fact that it's daylight outside right now. Just pretend the continuity of this video is relatively the same. In a video by a creator called Owie Brain Hurts, they describe the idea pretty well as having the audacity. As in, I see a task, skill, and/or hobby, and then have the audacity to learn about it and try it out. A cybersecurity basics course on Coursera is only $45. Don't mind if I do. FL Studio is 60% off, and there are literally thousands of videos showing you online how to use it for free. Yeah, I'm gonna try that shit out. Now, this does end up turning a bit chaotic sometimes because I have this tendency to, in the middle of learning something, I will end up learning something completely different. For example, I started learning about cybersecurity, which has spiraled into me learning about code, which has spiraled into me resisting the urge not to chuck my phone into the ocean because privacy is dead, we kill it, companies are stealing all of our data, and they're in the fucking wall. So instead of being really good at just one thing, I kinda know a little bit about a lot of things, while also almost impressively lacking common sense in many other things. I mean, take a look at what I do at work. I'm a section commander, a radio communications specialist. I have a certification to ship dangerous goods. And also, not to mention, give me a spreadsheet and I can make that bitch sing. Now, this got me interested in learning about the other side of this coin. What about a specialist? Now, in stark contrast to what I like to do, a specialist is mostly someone who has spent years of their life learning and mastering one specific thing in general. I mean, think about a hospital. You don't just have medical doctors and nurses walking around, you also have people who specialize in specific fields of medicine. You got a weird lump on your skin, you go to the dermatologist. You need someone to take a look at your sweaty, malfunctioning ball sack, you go to a urologist. Obesity runs in your family because no one runs in your family. You go to a cardiologist, or TCL. Now, this has been the topic of some long debates, because with the rather questionable job market of today, it's a genuine question to ask, should you be a generalist or should you be a specialist? Which one is better? And even though I am in no way, shape, or form even qualified to answer this question, that's not gonna fucking stop me. I think before we even attempt to answer this, we're gonna have to break down the pros and cons of both. If you specialize in something, odds are you have dedicated years of your life into mastering this specific field that you are in. You are the go-to expert of this specific thing because you've dedicated a lot of time and energy to this specific thing. And in the world where companies and governments are always looking for top-tier talents, your name will pop up. Also, let's not forget, if you are a master in a specific field, odds are you'll become well known in that specific field, to the point where you can even create some kind of monopoly on it. One example I can think of is Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, the rich and powerful from all over Italy didn't just want his paintings, they wanted him. Basically, you can end up becoming so good that you don't just adhere to a certain standard, you become that standard. You're probably thinking to yourself, Stan, being a specialist sounds awesome. There could be absolutely no con. Wrong. You're stupid, and I hate you. Such as most things in life, it's not exactly completely perfect. Like it or not, if you're really good at just one thing and one thing only, you are extremely vulnerable to rapid industrial change. All you gotta do is look back in history. How many people lost their jobs due to the Industrial Revolution? How many draftsmen became extinct when AutoCAD became a thing? If you want a more recent example, think about how many jobs are now on a chopping block because of advancements in AI. Now, it doesn't matter how lofty or altruistic a company's goals might be, at the end of the day, they only want one thing, and that's money. So if you think a company is not going to choose the most cost-effective way to boost productivity without replacing you, you're really innocent, and I hope the world doesn't hurt you. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the pros and cons of being a generalist. Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little bit of a secret. You don't have to know a lot. You just have to know enough about a certain subject so you don't sound like a complete fucking moron, and just to know what you have to do. This frees up a lot of real estate inside of your brain. Mine is like a desolate, empty Walmart parking lot. Another major advantage I can think of is something called cross-field knowledge. Basically, you take your knowledge and experience from one field and apply it to something completely different. This is great because it offers another perspective to solve problems even specialists in that field were not even aware of. This is a great way to solve problems. Now, do you like gaming? I like gaming. Let's see what goes on over there. You work at a game developer company as part of the concept art team. Sure, you're gonna need to be able to specialize in draftsmanship skills in order to have a chance of landing this job. But what about the lead concept artist? Not only do they need cracked draftsmanship skills, they also need to understand leadership, project management, time management, the ability to say as per my last email instead of fuck off. You see, that is what makes generalists so cracked in the professional world. They oftentimes bridge the gap between multiple skill sets. But oh, like my mother reminding me of my report card, it's not perfect. And this is just personal for me, is that I never feel satisfied with anything that I do. I constantly have this feeling of I'm okay at a lot of stuff, but I don't really feel like I'm good at anything. There's also the very questionable job market. There is no guarantee that your employer wants someone that's just okay at a lot of things. Sometimes there are specific enough tasks that he needs someone to be good at it, not just okay. So, now know the difference between a generalist and a specialist, and also the pros and cons thereof. Are we any closer to figuring out which one is better? Nope. Absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here. Maybe you've already picked up on the fact that I lean heavily towards being a generalist, but that's just me. I know that it applies to me because I like being a generalist. However, if you want to be certain things or you want to achieve certain things, you have to specialize in those things. Think of gymnastics, brain surgery, or this kid who can jump rope and mock fuck. There's a video by the woke salaryman that I like a lot. At the end of the video, they try to explain, instead of separating generalist and specialist into two different camps, why not try to bridge the two of them together? Remember when I talked about Da Vinci and how nearly all of Italy's rich and powerful wanted him? The dude wasn't just a master draftsman. His talents also included engineering, architecture, and let's not forget, studies on the human anatomy. What I'm trying to say is don't limit yourself to just one of the two camps. You can really enjoy doing one thing while also dabbling in a lot of other things. Also, kids, remember, charge your fucking lights. I'm using a fucking light bulb. It's better than nothing. Bye.